Now we are on segment 2, core terms and definitions. We are going to cover the language of risk management, which will help us for clear, consistent definitions, which are crucial because without them, two people may assess the same situation differently, leading to inconsistent or ineffective mitigation strategies. The key terms and definitions. First term is risk. The effect of uncertainty on objectives, which is potential for loss, harm, or missed opportunity. An example is a hospital risk where a patient data breaches can because of lack of encryption protocols. Second term is hazard. Hazard is a potential source of harm or damage. An example would be a wet flow in a hospital corridor that could cause slips, falls, or faulty wiring in a server room. The third is threat. Threat can be caused by an actor, event, or condition that could exploit a vulnerability. For example, cybercriminals attempting unauthorized access or disgruntled employee with access to sensitive areas. Number 4 is vulnerability. Vulnerability is a weakness that can be exploited by a threat. That is a weakness that a threat actor can use to access an asset or exploit. Lack of encryption on a sensitive file or unlocked server room or a weak password policy. That's why sometimes we need multi-factor application. An asset. An asset is anything of value that needs protection, tangible or intangible. That could even mean a VIP or executive, protection or executive authority or person you need to protect, maybe on a journey, or let's say when you're dealing with the diplomatic visits. That's an asset. You can also point to things like patient records or intellectual property or brand reputation. Control. Control are measures put in place to reduce or manage risks. Things like CCTV cameras, restricted access protocols, staff awareness or training, antivirus softwares, or even close protection. Those are controls. Residual risks. The risk that remains after implementing controls. Example could be CCTV installed, could be even executive protection itself, but it doesn't mean that the whole risk is reduced or eliminated. So whatever remaining after protection has been done is what is called residual risk. Risk criteria is the benchmark or standard used to evaluate the significance of risk or measure the degree of risk. This can be qualitative or quantitative risk standard. So qualitative is arrived at through interviews. Quantitative is arrived at through data. And when it comes to qualitative, we use likelihood of rare, medium, or high. The same applies to quantitative probability, but use data to arrive at the figure. You have your workbook. Look at the activity of your workbook and write down examples of hazard, threat, and vulnerability in your workplace. Consider different contexts like physical, cyber, operational, or reputational. For instance, in a hospital, a hazard could be a malfunctioning medical device, a threat, which could be an inside theft of a patient records. And a vulnerability could also be unlocked cabinet storing controlled substances. You have 3 minutes before we move to segment 3 to attend to the questions in your workbook.